They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread but sex. They care way too much but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got three big old dicks that you can suck.
Oh, you're hitting.
Oh shit, you look fine.
I lost 10
Yeah.
pounds at the beach. Suck it.
Yeah,
How'd
you
you
was
do
up
that?
15 though, so
Yeah, no, because I gained 15 at the other beach.
How'd you lose at the beach? Just like running?
I didn't drink and I worked out every day. Yeah, I did some cardio and I did bands and I exclusively ate oysters and grilled fish.
dude, I like ever since
Gay.
childhood, because I
Yeah,
was a
no, for
fat
sure.
kid. Ever since childhood, I have been a yo-yo person. I'm yo-yo
Yeah,
fat.
me too.
You know, right? I know, but I'm saying so. Like, I know what that's like,
Mhm.
but like for me, it's months at a time
Yeah,
that are spent up or down. You
yeah.
yo-yo at a rate, like a fucking Asian TikToker. You
Yeah.
yo-yo, dude. That's
Yeah.
how hard you're yo-yoing.
My heart's gonna
Do
explode.
you get man titties when you yo-yo?
Oh yeah. I
Do
mean,
you need a yo-yo bra? There it
ah,
is.
there it is.
All
Nice.
right.
I should have known that you didn't
They
actually
got it.
care. But yeah, no, I'm starting to like. I did the bands last week, and I'm also someone who like it can get out of hand in a hurry, but I can also reel it back in a hurry. Like if I want to start looking good, like it don't take that long. Like if I cut out a little bit of salt, drink a lot of water, start literally just doing push-ups and stuff, it's like within a week I'm like, oh shit, you're starting to get muscly. But then just in 2 days of like I get drunk and have Taco Bell, it's completely back to you look like the fucking senator from the first X-Men on the table when he finds out he's filled with water. I look like that guy.
Mm.
It don't hit.
Yeah, that's a good
Salt? What? What's the salt do?
It makes you
Salt-
retain water.
Okay.
That's a huge thing with me, which is why like you're like, God, how can you fluctuate 12 to 13 pounds in a week? Well, I'll tell you, eat the amount of salt I normally eat, and then the next week don't do that. Because I just eat a lot of salt. Like I didn't realize how much salt I ate. Because like you don't even think about it. You're just like, yeah, salt hits. I'll put it on that. You know, like,
Isn't that a blood pressure thing?
yeah, but my blood pressure is amazing. Surprisingly, like
That's because you have no guilt.
right.
Shame.
It does help. That does help.
It's true.
I know.
Stress is worse than fucking salt and beer, dude.
But the thing
That's
is
Keith
that,
Richards, man. He ain't ever felt bad his whole life.
But the thing is that like I hear you. Like, I don't have no guilt or shame or anything like that, but I am like, I'm constantly super stressed and like on the verge of a psychotic break. So like, I don't know.
You do seem to have anxiety, but also be
Bad.
calm. That's part of like the weird show energy, though, man. It's like you say you're anxious and you seem anxious. I totally believe you, but then you also aren't.
Well, what it is that I don't worry about the things a normal person should worry about, and I worry about things that it's stupid to worry about. Like I will work. Like I can't really give a good example. It's just everything in my life. I'm not constantly, oh my god, but like the other day we had a problem with our bank where like they stopped horse bank, yeah. Where like we didn't realize that we hadn't moved something over, and we were actually in an account we weren't in one of our accounts we weren't supposed to be in. There wasn't shit in it, and we overdrew, and like it was like we had somehow fucked ourselves out of like $650, and Amber almost had a panic attack, and I was like, hey, what are you gonna do? We're on the beach. We're on the beach, and I was like, hey, what are you gonna do? She goes, are you fucking serious right now? And I was like, yeah, I mean, what does it matter? And she's like, it's $650. I was like, yeah, but we'll probably get it back because it was a mistake on there, like the horse bank's in, and also like, yeah, I'm not going to ruin my day over money. And like, that's a thing you should be fucking worried about. And I was like, whatever. But like,
related thing and talking about almost having a panic attack. And this will lead into, I want to talk about, our big exciting announcement anyway. That Joe's already put up behind us. I definitely want to talk about that, but I'm going to lead into it by saying yesterday I got on Delta Airlines. We all are Delta medallion members. And so I always fuck with Delta. And I got on Delta for the first time in over a year, obviously, to look at flights to the Atlanta area. And the only available options were all first class tickets that were expensive as hell on every single flight they had. Everything else was completely sold out. Then I looked at Birmingham, which is a couple weeks later, and everything was completely sold out. So in my head, I start fucking really freaking out because what I thought had happened,
I would freak out at that.
What I thought had happened was there were like 80% fewer flights now or something because of the pandemic and everything than there used to be. And because of that, they're selling out way quicker. And I've already missed the boat because like I got to get to the South in July.
Yeah.
And I started fucking freaking out. I called Delta and their app was just broke. That's all it was.
Nice.
It was just, the app was just fucked up and they were in the process of fixing it. But I
would have freaked out on that.
I thought I had fucked up real bad for a minute there.
That would have freaked me out because that has to do with your career. Those are the things I get stressed about. But it's not the money. It's not like, I can't do this gig, so therefore I won't have the money. It's just like if it has something to do with jokes and my comedy career, and something's gonna, I freak the fuck out about.
And you
that.
Might be like, well, Trey, did you not check Spirit Airlines? I'd rather just lose my career,
dude. Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
You guys are wrong about Spirit.
I would rather go
just
back
buy
to
the first 2 rows.
I will buy a Spirit airplane before I ever buy a Spirit ticket.
We are, of course, talking about the fact that we're going back on the road fucking finally, in less than a month. We will be back on the road starting in what I believe is the absolutely perfect city for us to kick the tires again. Atlanta, Georgia. On July 10th. Lord, that's gonna hit. We
haven't been there in 3 years.
We haven't been to Atlanta. Atlanta's a great town for us, for obvious reasons. I feel like, fucking liberal in the South, but we haven't been there in like 3 years because we had a couple of different shows that fucking fell apart. Shit just happens. No drama or nothing. Shit just happens. So we haven't been there in like 3 years, and now it's going to be our first date back after this big hiatus, and the crowd's going to be rowdy, I'm sure, and we're going to be fucking pumped up. And it's going to be awesome, and I cannot wait.
Also, you mentioned Birmingham. That's the 23rd and 24th of July. So we got 2 cities this month. I'm so pumped.
We've got a bunch of other dates that are on the website. So you go to wellredcomedy.com, still our website, still doing it. But a lot of this is a huge fucking logistical process it's not just our tour, it's everybody's tour.
It's rough.
So like we're still working through all of that. So if you look, A, we're still adding cities. B, you might see your city but not have a ticket link yet. It will be up eventually. We're working on it.
Yeah. And look, if you're from a city that we play a lot and you're like, oh, I don't see it, we're probably coming. It's just like, he said, it's a huge logistical thing. It's been wild because I don't know how y'all are personally dealing with it, but like, we used to promote and tour just on a rolling basis. Like we started the tour and then it's just like, all right, we'll take a few weeks off, but then we're promote. This has been like starting all over again. And it's really been unnerving and like crazy. But a lot of it is because I'm just like, let's just go. Let's just go right now. I'll just set up some pews in the barn. I don't care. But yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited to be in Atlanta where, like I said, we hadn't been there in 3 years. I really genuinely don't know what to expect. I mean, I'm working on my act. I know I've got a good show coming. I don't know how to expect our crowd to behave because I feel like it's going to be like bedlam in a way, but but I'm excited about that. I'm genuinely, I think I'm going to cry. I think I'm going to cry.
Well, I've been doing it in the South with DJ on and off for a month now. You should expect appreciative crowds, excited crowds. There was a few times, man, I was like, that's the best set I've ever had. I can't believe I'm still this good at comedy. And then I went back and listened to the tape, and I was fine.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
6 out of 10, but they're just loving it. They just love it, dude. They're just loving it.
We'll have some rust. Drew might not, but me and Corey surely will.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some rust.
Plenty of stuff.
It ain't gone yet.
So I think it'll be fine. I mean,
I'm sure that's true.
I've been on stage one time in the past year and a half, and it was like 5 days ago. Last Thursday, I did a show in LA, and so it was outdoors because California just opened back up literally today. So it was like an outdoors show, which anybody that knows anything about comedy knows that's not ideal.
No, it don't hit.
Like a park or something. I got there and it was actually on a golf course in Venice, but it's not just a golf course. It's like the bar that's on the golf course is like a hip local hangout spot in Venice. So I get there It's outdoors. There are a shitload of people, so I was pumped there were a lot of people there, but they were there just to drink and hang out. Like comedy was about to happen to them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's the worst.
And there's kids there and shit. It's daylight, you know.
My God, not necessarily a tub birth for you there. Getting back
exactly. I haven't been on stage 18 months. I see all this, and it was almost kind of in a way relieving,
right? Because you're like, it's gonna suck.
Because I was like, dude, look,
right. What are you gonna do?
This is just gonna be what it's gonna be. You haven't done it in 18 months, plus all these other factors. Fucking, you know, let yourself have this one, whatever happens, you know. And then I fucking murdered.
Well, that
like, it was one of the better shows I've ever had in LA, period. And so, yeah, I'm fucking super pumped to do it again. It's gonna hit.
Me
People
too,
are
man.
just excited to be out. So, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We're gonna come to your city as long as Delta flies there. If not, Trey ain't fucking coming.
They are there, but also, of course, I would fucking take a train or whatever. The trains do that.
We'll drive.
I would have gotten there.
I do want to go on a train tour one day.
It's so hard logistically.
No, I know.
I've got Scott Miller, who was on the podcast, did an Amtrak tour.
Yeah.
Now he had to have his equipment, but he was just talking about logistically and timing. Like, dude, trains don't be running every hour.
No.
You know what I mean?
We've looked into it before. There's been multiple times where we've had like this city and then the next city the next night, and we've been like, hey, we should take a train.
Yeah, and we never do.
The only time we've ever taken a train was from New York to Jersey, which is a different thing.
You have to take a train everywhere there.
Right.
Well, a lot of times, if you remember,
it's hard to take a train.
Well, it was also like $20 cheaper than a flight and way less convenient.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. But I love the idea of a train, you know.
Yeah, it was never for the convenient. And whenever I say something wild like that, like I want to do a train tour, that's always me speaking in a fantasy world where this is Corey who's already made it and it gets to set up this little cush thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this year we'll do this gimmick tour where you only do trains or you only play old bed and breakfasts that were haunted. You know, that's a fantasy world. But no, fucking if Delta ain't there, you know, whatever.
You know how tours, it was all politicians, but ignoring that part, you know how tours used to be like from the back of a train? You would have hit it that, I think.
I would have hit it. Dude, I would have hit it.
All the trains just rolling through like fucking little fucking gold towns or whatever. And then some guy that looks like you in a fucking top hat or whatever walks out on the back of the caboose and it's just like, you know, hear ye.
Hey, yeah. I'm so glad you're saying this.
Has arrived in your town. Drew ain't buying it. I think.
No, I'm confused. They used to do shows from the train.
Of course.
Again, I think it was mostly politicians, but what they
I would have hit it that.
They would, because, you know, what else were they going to do? Fucking horse and carriages and shit. They would. Tours were routed with trains, and what they would do is,
they just stop.
The train would stop and they would like step out onto the back of the caboose, like the platform, and everybody would gather around the back of the train and they'd do their set, you know, fucking Thomas Jefferson's a hoodie wank or whatever. And then, they get back in there and leave.
Dude,
Thomas Jefferson's probably too early for that.
I know you don't.
Anachronistic and not that funny. And
I don't think you know this. I don't think you know this, which is great. We're talking about going back on the road, and I'm talking about how I've written this new act. One of the jokes in the middle of my act right now that I'm working on fleshing out is about how hard I would have hit in the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah.
Because of an argument that me and my wife had about which one of us would have lasted the longest during the Depression. Because we ran out of shit to argue about during the pandemic.
In the argument and or the bit, do you have money?
No. Well, I mean, I get it. It was like, no, I don't have money. It's just which one of us with the skills that we both present day have, that we both like, just, we only have, we're not different people. It's us, the skills that we present day have.
Yeah.
Who would make it the furthest? And like, dude, it begins and ends with, imagine me on camera falling off a ladder. You know what I mean? And imagine
talking silent movie star. I'm still
like
thinking like the train.
The gig.
I was thinking of.
You're
talking like Fatty Arbuckle shit. For sure, you'd hit it that.
I would hit it all those things.
I was gonna.
You would no doubt hit, but how would you work your way in? Like, what would you do? First 2 years.
I was picturing him with
vaudeville.
He would need like one of those carts, and either he's selling some sort of miracle cure to all the rubes in the old West or whatever.
I could do that.
Okay,
could have done that. Or in his cart, he's got some like dwarves and a couple donkeys or something, and it's like a travel road show.
He's got to get them though.
Where he's like the lion tamer.
But they got him. How could I not get him?
Like he would hit at that. I think he would hit it. You don't think
he
would hit at that? I think
he would hit it all of that. I'm worried about the first 2 weeks to 6 weeks trying to settle that up while Amber.
You don't think he could talk knows how and a donkey into going on the road with him in 1894 or whatever?
I don't know. Maybe like it, he might not have the right vernacular. They'd be like, stab him. It's a future man and cut his throat.
All I've got to do is make it longer than Amber, though. I don't have to like.
But really... she can suck a dick.
Yeah, but she doesn't. She doesn't do that.
But we're talking about survive.
She doesn't cook a lot, and she's mouthy. Not really your ideal 20s broad. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, but at the same time, y'all got a big house. She's surviving in 2021.
Well, yeah. Now it's easy to survive now.
Okay. We've been talking about.
I
hear
you. Find a room.
We've been talking about two
Who bought a
different
big
eras
house for this fucking video money.
Yeah. We've been talking about 2 different eras, kind of.
That's
but
true.
If in 1915 or whatever, Cho had gotten on a train and gotten off in Hollywood with just an onion in his pocket and a twinkle in his eye or whatever. Right?
That's my puppet. It looks like me.
Yeah. I think he could. All he would have to do is just fall down in front of the right person a couple of times. For sure.
Back then, looking like me was way better than looking like me now.
Do you have the knowledge you have now in this scenario? No, so you know how silent movies work?
He would have to talk different, I think, for sure. He would have to learn how to talk.
I want to be in a movie, see?
I want to be in a movie, see? Yeah, come here, see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All I got is this onion, see? I done ate half of it.
Yeah. Where's that woman with my carrot? Just whatever. Yeah. I just feel like Amber's point is that you don't have skills other than entertainment. That was her point.
It was harder to do stuff back then.
That was her point.
I'm not.
The argument literally started off. Here's how the argument literally started off. We were sitting there drunk as fuck. And we were watching, I don't know what, maybe it was Oh Brother Where Art Thou again. And she was just like, what do you think? Which one of us do you think would have survived the longest back then? I was like, is that really where we're at? And I was like, I'd have fucking hit back then. And she goes, yeah, but like, they were men.
That's true.
And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I'm just saying. And I was like, okay, but like, you're acting like every single person back then was someone who just built cabinets for people who built cabinets. And then at the end of the day, they were like, we're building cabinets. And then they just got fucking shit faced. And then they went down to the dock to look for extra. There was other shit to do. You know what I mean? And also the reason that they were men back then is because they fucking had to be men back then. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, the World War II generation, they're way tougher than us. It's like, yeah, okay. Well, I don't know. If I'd have got drafted in Iraq, I think I'd be pretty tough shit. Like if they'd have made me go, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not taking anything away from those people. I'm just saying, if I was back then I would have been like them. You know what I'm saying? Or I'd have died.
You wouldn't have died. My question is just simply, can you get over that first hump? I have no doubt that if you get the orange salesman job, you would work your way up, murder at it, and then end up.
I think it's inarguably more competitive in my business nowadays. And I'm doing pretty good.
This. I'm not sold on the idea that it was harder to do then if you knew to try to do it and have talent or whatever. First of all,
and I'm the same person.
Hold on. Well, to be clear, I'm not
vaudeville or whatever. Cho was fucking arguably he was born in the wrong era. He would have crushed in vaudeville, and
I agree with all that. He could have done. I'm not arguing that it's harder back then. It just is not going to happen in week 3. It was going to take him 6 months. And my question, Trey, is, it took Corey years here, but he had his grandmama's house. He knew how to, he had a painting job. You could have got a painting job, maybe. Did they have paint back then?
I could have invented paint.
He could have invented paint.
See, well, Drew, you asked if he had all his knowledge and stuff. Honestly, this is kind of cheating. I don't think we should even do this because but if he did have all his knowledge and went back to that era, he could start doing all the famous fucking bits and shit. That who's on first or whatever.
Exactly.
No doubt.
But I think we got to
I can't do that.
That ain't fair.
And according to Corey, Amber don't know shit, so that wouldn't have helped her at all.
She couldn't know who's on first. Come on.
No.
I mean, well, the joke was she couldn't do anything.
She could invent like the Dr. Pepper shot or something. Like
the flaming shot girl.
Yeah.
She would have Amber those bustiers, just like a shot girl walking around.
Dude,
swinging 20s,
like Hooters or something.
Amber would have passed out in a fucking mud puddle and got polio day fucking 3. All right, I promise. Especially this would be during prohibition. She would have fucking had to find some bathtub gin son of a bitch. You know what I mean? Like dude, she wouldn't have. I mean, yeah, okay. Blonde, big boobs. Like
I was just to say, she also was the perfect type for back then.
She was for sure. That ain't no doubt.
What if there was like a button that somebody hit in the movie, and Corey has to watch what actually happens if things got reversed?
Yeah,
and he ended up a whore, and she ended up a famous star.
That'd be fine.
That'd be a hit movie. I would like to see that.
Like if this is like we got a time machine and this was our first application of it, was just like, all right, I'll show you. We'll fucking go back there and see who makes it. And then we end up together anyways.
Probably.
It's a not hitting life.
It's a not, yeah. Yeah. Well, so yeah, that's I'm working on that. So I'm going to listen back to this episode and take all those tags. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
So
speaking of,
go ahead.
What y'all remember about donkey basketball? Because I've done the joke now 6 times.
Monkey.
It's been different every time, and I forgot the monkey.
How do you forget the monkey? Literally, first thing that came to my head was the monkey.
Because my bit came from what actually happened to me, and then I went back to hear what Scott said, because Scott was talking about the monkey. Now, when I tell the joke, I'm gonna say the monkey was at my show too, but we didn't get the monkey.
Why y'all think we pronounce donkey and monkey different?
Some people don't. Some people say donkey.
Oh yeah, okay.
Really?
Yeah, donkey.
Look at all them donkeys over there. It's a monkey on that donkey. You know what I'm saying?
There's a monkey on that donkey.
I want that T-shirt. Yeah,
I want that T-shirt.
That might be my T-shirt.
There's a monkey on that donkey.
Dude, you start pulling that thread of like English words and why they don't sound the same, and it's so impressive to me when anyone who English isn't their first language learns this godforsaken language. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, dude, for sure.
We all take it for granted because we first thing we learned how to do, but don't make no goddamn sense.
Literally just like the most cliche example, I guess, is probably there, and there.
Yeah. Right.
And like, yeah, that's stupid or whatever, but like there's so many more dumb ones that are just insane. Like it doesn't make any, like, I guess it's because we took from a lot of other things, and then there was a lot of adapting of those words. And then once you get, but it just, yeah, no, ain't it like, go ahead.
It feels like we're trying to oppress them further.
Yeah, right.
And if you want to get ahead, learn our language. And good fucking luck.
Good luck. We don't even know it, queer.
We don't.
But like, isn't it easier to learn like Mandarin than English? Like English is one of the hardest fucking ones, right?
I've heard English is one of the harder ones, but I think Mandarin is also up there because I know that they have literally the exact same word, but the tone, the voice changes the meaning of it, and I can't even hardly.
But isn't that kind of what there and there and there is too? And in some ways,
they're spelled different. I'm talking about my understanding is in Mandarin,
and you hear
it's literally the same word. It's just the way you say it determines like what the word means or whatever.
Like
then. Did I ever tell you what my papa used to say?
Wild as hell.
Did I ever tell you what my papa used to say when he heard Mexicans talk?
I don't think he did. Not publicly anyway, but go ahead.
It's actually not that bad considering he would be, listening to him talk, and then he would just get this big grin on his face, and he'd just turn around to us and go, now how do they understand that? Like he could not conceptualize that they all spoke that and that it was no different. He's just like, but he would again, here's why it's not that bad. He wouldn't go, God damn it. He wouldn't. He literally was
that was just dumb.
It was just dumb, but it was like he was impressed. He was just
was both ahead of and behind his time.
Exactly. How do they understand that?
He was a big dumb sweetheart. I don't. Really
he was otherwise a dick. That was like a sweet thing that he said, but yeah, no, he wouldn't get mad. He was just like he couldn't understand how the fuck they could understand it, and it was always
so
tickled
funny. Like what in his head.
They were interpreting
what is happening there. Do you
know in
his
head was
conceive of other languages. What do you think that is?
that they're translating English, that they know the word for rose is, rosa or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, which is crazy.
I think also it was a speed thing to him. Like it sounds like they're talking faster. Cause like now in his defense, not that Mexicans talk faster than Americans, but they damn sure talk faster than my papa did. Like Southerners, you know what I mean? Like mama and papa talk like this. Make sure you can hear everything they say. And then goddamn, of course they got to get them chips and salsa orders in, like shit's happening. You know what I mean? Like they ain't got time. That's where we were. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, if you're not, as somebody who's tried to learn Spanish like 8 different times in my life, and
really, I can't believe you're admitting that right now.
And kind of, sort of, I just don't stick with it. You know?
Right.
Like, that's the only thing. It's not that it's beyond me. I just quit fucking with it. Yeah. It's like guitar,
Yeah. I just bought a keyboard, by the way.
Yeah, right. It'll be like that, probably.
It will be.
But anyway, if you put Spanish in front of me written down, I could probably parse it well enough to tell you like what it says.
I can understand it when they're saying it.
When they are speaking, someone speaking Spanish, I might pick up every third or fourth word, maybe. And it's because it sounds way too, I just want to be like, please slow down. And I might understand it, but obviously I'm not going to say that. But it sounds like it's way faster, probably because my brain be slow.
Right.
When it comes to Spanish, not as slow
right.
as calls, but
well, it's not innate. You're probably still filtering it, correct?
Absolutely. But dude,
I think that's when the speed comes, is when you stop interpreting and you just hear it.
Right. Yeah. I'm nowhere remotely close to that.
Corey, I want you to train a cat to play the keyboard with you, and a fat one, and you can name it Trey. That would hit. And I think that you guys could write songs. And look, man, I don't know what you want in life, but you could buy a huge house, I think, if you did that.
I think it's just as likely that I train a fat cat to play the keyboard with me as it is for me just by myself to learn how to play this keyboard. So I may as well do it.
Yeah. And I was thinking is if you could somehow throw your voice like a ventriloquist and you can make the cat say all the stuff that you don't want to say, like Jeff, what's his name?
Dunham. I think I can do that.
The way his puppets are racist, so he's not somehow or whatever. Like you can make your cat, like I don't know. What do you like? Have really, really bad views on vegans or something? I don't know what you're into, but
is it?
Cats are obligate carnivores, so that wouldn't make sense. That's funny, actually. It's a cat who fucking hates
vegans.
He's like a hack comic who hates vegans or whatever. That's funny. That's a funny.
That's funny.
A big,
especially because it's like. There ain't no danger of carnivores eating him in this country. So it's like, all the vegans be like, he's a fucking hack. Like some fucking, like a cow. Fuck you, cat. It's easy for you to say, you piece of shit.
Hey, speaking of Jeff Dunham, I just now had a moment of like clarity. Like Jeff Dunham he makes his puppets racist. So it's like not him being racist. Yeah. Is that different than when I do like Uncle Keith on stage? Granted, he's not ever trying to slam it's not any different.
I hope not, because I do the same thing. We all do that, right?
No, I'm saying I hope it is different.
Like inhabit we do like a redneck character and say something horrible, and it's fine.
Because they're the butt of the joke.
Fine, we all done for.
I
believe.
No, I think for sure. I think what Corey's getting at is he's asking, is it different? Because I get the sense that Dunham agrees with his puppets.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Like the puppets, I don't know enough about him, but our point is always to make our uncle in those bits look dumb.
Right. Yeah. Like,
and I don't know if that's his goal or not. I don't watch him enough. It may be.
No,
I don't either,
but
I'll say
it is different.
I'll say that I know some of the people that like Jeff Dunham, and they definitely like those jokes because they believe them, and they would hate the ones I do. And my rule, sort of like, if I could boil it down to anything, is like my test for like, is this joke okay to say, is like,
who does it bother?
Who does it bother? And if it's my Uncle Keith,
then it's fine.
And I'm like, well, that's good. Yep. That's who that's who I want to piss off. But like, I don't know, that just hit me. I was like,
the problem with that,
we don't have to,
but I think we it goes fine for us. We don't ever get in trouble for this. It's fine. I'm just saying, like, it has happened,
never once.
It has happened every now and then, like that. Yes, the joke is aimed at how stupid Uncle Keith is or whatever.
Right.
But some people might hear what Uncle Keith said, what you say.
Yeah,
as
if you
Uncle
take it out
Keith,
of context.
and get upset by that, even though the point of it is this is such a stupid thing for him to believe and then say.
Well,
still,
man,
some people might, take it
like that time we were in Asheville.
We can't worry about dumb motherfuckers.
You can't.
Yeah,
no,
for sure. Well, like
worry about that.
We were in Asheville that time, and
yes,
Amber.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah, I just don't remember that. Like that guy was like running out and screaming, and Amber was out there and she's like, what? She's like, this fucking comedian on stage is goddamn homophobic, talking about me. And it was when I was doing my closer. And like that closer was at that time was literally about how ridiculous it was that gay people and transgender people weren't allowed in the army. Literally all he saw was me doing an impression of a redneck talking about gays in the military. And he was drunk and was like, that's what this guy, which I don't even like, goddamn, how long that's my closer. How long had he been there? He was just drunk and stupid. You're right, Drew. You just can't worry about stupid people.
Well, I'll say two things. Thank you for saying I was right. I'll say two things. We can get up our own asses a little bit about comedy, but this really is how subtle it can be, where you can two comedians doing the same trick and saying the same thing, but the way they set up the premise or maybe how they end it really is all the difference in the meaning or the point they're trying to get across, if they're trying to get one across. We are doing the same trick as Jeff Dunham. It's just that I think our goals are different, and that's why
I think they are.
And I think that's why it's important to like take jokes in context, give comedians a little bit of breathing room when they're trying to craft them. You know what I mean? Don't just run with the first fucking story. But on the flip side, it's also like we do be making points, and sometimes you can tell what a comedian's point is. And if you have a problem with it, it's okay to say that you have a problem with that point.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But like, there's been plenty of times where all of us, if you took a whole joke, 5-minute joke, and you just clipped out 10 seconds of it, and that's all you shared, everybody be like, that ain't it. Like, what?
Well, the other thing I was going to say is I've been doing shows with DJ, but I've also just been doing house shows. And I've been doing shows in front of a lot of people who don't know who I am. And I have a joke right now about my dad considering beating the fuck out of a gay man because he gave my nephew beer, like in an attempt to groom him.
Nice.
And it is touch and go to discuss that with people who don't know me. Whereas DJ and I's shows, they know me. Like they're fucking pumped from the moment. They know that it's not going anywhere dangerous, so their tension is lower, and then I can break whatever tension I build. Yeah. Whereas with the strangers, I've got to break the tension that is just there immediately when I start talking about my redneck dad beating up a gay man.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I used to have a joke about how no matter how woke you are, you always get a little nervous when you're about to shake a black dude's hand because you don't know if you're supposed to be cool or if you're supposed to be like, no, just shake it like you would shake your white friend's hand. And I do felt like it was always a completely different reaction if I did it at a show that nobody knew who I was, and if I did it at a show who it was our crowd. You know what I mean? Because they like you said, there's that built-in grace. They're like, we know this man's heart. I think he's trying to go somewhere. You know what I mean? But like when you say I get nervous when I'm about to shake a black man's hand. Like that can be a little aggressive.
Yeah. You know what else could be aggressive? People smoking in public, right?
I hate it.
Here's the good news. You don't have to do it anymore because the good people at Lucy Nicotine Company, founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. And they found finally a tobacco alternative that doesn't suck. Researched and developed for 3 years to be made for people and not patients. Lucy has created a nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine that comes in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. If you ain't into that, Lucy also has a lozenge with 4 milligrams of nicotine in a cherry ice flavor. Every one of the flavors hits real hard. It's convenient and discreet. Like I said, people get mad if you're smoking or even vaping in their presence, but what are they going to do about you chewing gum? You're just chewing gum. They can kiss your ass. That's what I like about Lucy. You can do it anywhere you want to and still get your nicotine, baby. It's 2021, so get rid of your cigarettes and throw out the dip and get some Lucy nicotine gum or lozenges. This is the real deal, y'all. A subscription to Lucy comes directly to your door every month. It's so simple. You don't have to leave your house because Lucy has delivery down. So WellRED listeners Go to lucy.co and use the promo code RED, R-E-D, to get 20% off all products, including gum or lozenges. That's lucy.co. Use the promo code RED at checkout. As always, I'm legally required to give this disclaimer. Warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. And then Trey adds, which hits. Lucy.co and use the promo code RED. And we thank them, as always, for sponsoring the podcast.
Yeah, appreciate you, Lucy. As y'all know, Lucy helped your boy get off nicotine, living a better, healthier lifestyle, which includes CBD. As we all know, CBD isn't about what you feel. It's about what you don't feel. Stress, anxiety, pain. We were talking earlier in the podcast about how I'm a anxiety riddled human being, and I am. And CBD, so far in my life, in my experience, nothing has helped me better than CBD, and Feels is a better way to feel better. It's a premium CBD that will help you keep your head clear and feel your best. It's hassle-free, delivered directly to your door. CBD naturally helps reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. There's no hangover or addiction. It's just good stuff, man. I have a few drops when I have my coffee in the morning, have some right after I have my dinner so I can wind down. The thing to remember about CBD is finding your right dose. It is important because, if you go a little bit too hard, I mean, it's not going to hurt you, but like there is a noticeable thing. So, start out with a couple drops. That's what I would suggest. In fact, Feels, they offer a CBD hotline to help guide your personal experience so that you find your perfect dose. The Feels customer service team is dedicated to making sure you get the best use of your CBD. Join the Feels monthly membership, and that makes your self-care easy. You'll save money on every order. Start feeling better with Feels. Become a member today by going to feels.com. That's FEALS.com/WellRED, and you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. That's FEALS.com/WellRED to become a member and get 50% off automatically your first order with free shipping. Feels.com/WellRED. We thank them for sponsoring the podcast. I don't know why I love doing ad reads. I turn into this like my dad's got an old radio buddy, and like I just immediately turn into him and start fantasizing about that life. I love it.
You got a radio buddy personality with a beyond radio talent. I mean that as a compliment.
No, thank
you.
You
have a very radio personality.
Yeah.
We're too talented to do it in this day and age. Trey, I want to say great job on the read, and I really appreciated what I would call a Drew moment in which you said they can kiss your ass, and that's what I love about Lucy. And I feel like that should be their new tagline. They can kiss your ass.
They can kiss your ass.
Yeah, look into it, Lucy. I had a couple of random things as I want to do. I wanted to ask y'all about. I don't know how many we'll get through, but the first one is I hope people find this interesting in this era of true crime. My wife loves all that murder stuff. This is because of a false crime, a fictional murder show we watched. It made me curious about the answer to this question, and I wanted to ask Drew, who's a lawyer. Drew, hypothetically,
you never give me any time with this, and then when I'm wrong later, you're like,
"Are you about to talk about Mayor of Easttown?
Man.
Are you talking about Mayor of Easttown?"
No.
Okay, I was about to say because I'm only on episode 5.
No. I'm not gonna say the name of the show because I don't want to spoil anything. People who've seen it will probably know what I'm talking about, but I'm not even gonna say it. That way, it don't count as a spoiler. Hypothetically, Drew, if let's say I walked into the house and some dude was like assaulting Katie.
Okay.
And I killed him.
Yeah.
Right. But
which
then
hits
immediately.
Yeah, just stabbed him or hit him with something just like to get him.
Hey man, I'm doing something.
But he died. But then we freaked out over some kind of mitigating I don't know. Like Katie let the dude into the house for fucking because he had a quilt she wanted or some shit. I don't know what, but something makes it seem more complicated to us. So we freak out about it and panic and hide this dude's body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not a good move.
No, for sure. It's not.
I've always wondered why people did that.
For sure. It's not a good move, but how does that play out later on when we inevitably get caught?
If you get charged?
Yeah, we get caught and it's like, we're charged and everything. And it really was self-defense. And I know part of this answer is like, well, you got to be able to prove that. Let's say we could maybe prove that, but we did still hide the body.
Yeah.
Like, how's that all shake out?
I would assume, I've never had this particular type of thing. I would assume there are statutes in most states where hiding a body in that scenario is in and of itself illegal. Whether it be an evidence tampering type thing, even if no crime was committed, potentially, but you would argue obstruction of justice actually does require crime, right? But I mean, like, even if your grandma just dies, I don't think you can just bury her. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably against some law.
Yeah, unless you're Amish. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you're Amish and you killed him in self-defense, like you stabbed him with a fucking, corncob stalk, I don't know. But so the way it would play out is you're arguing self-defense. The prosecution would argue on its face, you hiding the body is a good indicator that it was not self-defense. Right. If your lawyer did a good enough job of convincing the jury, no, he freaked out, that would just be up to the jury. The jury could decide that you hiding the body was not indicative that you actually planned this or anything bad and still go with you. Separately, there is probably a crime you could be charged with in most states. I've never had that, so I don't know what it would be. But like I said, I have to assume that simply not reporting a dead body is in and of itself a crime, but it might be a misdemeanor, and it's certainly much lower than fucking murder.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm the judge, or I'm the jury,
crime. Like, if you got off with the murder part, but still that other thing was a crime. Are we talking like a prison crime or like, probation?
It would depend on your record.
Yeah.
How the prosecutor feels about losing that case. Yeah, and probably how the judge feels. So in every state I'm aware of, maybe there might be some exceptions. The jury finds you guilty or not guilty. The judge sentences you. So it probably depends on the press the thing got. It probably depends on whether if the judge thought, man, this is bullshit. They murdered this guy for his quilt. It's a nice quilt. I get it. But I'm going to give him the book. Because every crime, for the most part, like every actual crime, that's not just like a civil, ticket, like smoking a cigarette in public or something, can have jail time associated with it. Like, that's in almost every sentencing guideline. It can be anything from a warning, for a lower crime, all the way up to, 364 days in jail for a misdemeanor. That's how it is in Tennessee. So you could definitely still go to jail. That would depend on the judge and the prosecutor.
That would just blow my mind, because I know that the world don't work even a little bit how it does in my fucking little fairy tale head. But like, to me, it's like, if you get off, like if they prove like it was self-defense, then after that, it's like, yeah. And then they freaked out because they had just had to kill a person. Like, kind of just like, let it go. You know what I mean? Like
if you didn't have a record, and the prosecutor was very much like, I had to try this man because the facts were unclear, but I believe in juries. Okay. Then that prosecutor might even suggest to the judge probation or whatever for that other crime. Those reasonable prosecutors that exist 1 out of 100 times.
Right. Because like to me, it's like, if you kill a motherfucker like truly in self-defense, like I say, for the next 10 hours, you should be able to do whatever you want with that body. You know what I mean?
I agree.
You've earned it.
That should be it probably is in Texas. I think it's 24.
Yeah.
Well, and on that note, if it made headlines and it was like Florida, stand your ground, and that's what it was all about, the prosecutor
you'd be fine in Florida.
Right. The prosecutor might lick his or her wounds and you not even worry about that. I don't know. But
what this person look like that you shot?
Yeah.
Right.
Also, the record or lack thereof would have a huge effect on that, because at trial they're not allowed to bring that up, but at sentencing they fucking open and close with it.
Damn,
for sure.
Bro.
Well, it was the show I was watching, and it was a totally, in my opinion, completely justifiable homicide in self-defense. But then they freaked out and hid the body. And then, so because of that, they never even, like, when they got caught and shit, they weren't even trying to go for self-defense, and like, it kept pissing me up. Like, as a viewer of the show, I was like, Katie was getting sick of me, because I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, it was in self-defense. Why are they not even bringing that? And they like pretty much never actually attempted to make that defense. And I was like, maybe it's because they just know it looks so bad, there's no way they're going to get away. But it was just pissing me off from like a storytelling perspective.
What did they say?
Want to ask the question,
Did they present a different defense? Like, we just
didn't
do it?
There was overwhelming evidence it seemed like that they had done it, but they tried to just go with not guilty. It wasn't us. It just
I guess
like it wasn't us.
I guess I could see a lawyer deciding that would be easier to win than self-defense in a particular case. Maybe not in your show's case. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was anyway. That's why I was just curious, because I don't know a lot of murder stuff, you know.
Unfortunately, I know quite a bit. And
yeah, you're egged up with murder stuff.
Well, I was just thinking about how in my brother's case, there was a particular defense we could have gone for that Dustin just didn't want to because of what he was going to have to say on the stand and admit to and cop to, in terms of the guy he killed abusing him and just like talking about that. But that wouldn't really apply in your case from your show, Trey. I'm just thinking of that because it's like there's a million reasons not to make the argument that other people think you should make. You know, some lawyers overthink it though. They get too cute and they fuck up.
Is that that's a lawyer, like you said, you're getting too cute. I'm trying to think of an example. Like they're up there trying to hit instead of actually do their job, like trying to make a name for themselves, be cutesy, like establish their brand. And because of such, they end up burying an actual win for themselves.
That's a pretty perfect analogy. If what I'm interpreting you meaning is when they get up there and they're like, you know, they have a good act, but then they open with some kind of crowd work and they talk about like, you can't even joke about anything anymore, but they don't have a punchline for that. They're just trying to get the crowd to agree with them.
Yeah. That's the thing.
That's it.
Man, that's wild. Because I've been watching. I keep seeing some fucking like in court shows now. I'm a lot more ever since when me and you met, and then the more I talk to you about law, the more I like actually pay attention to that shit. And like, oh, I've heard Drew say some shit like, I don't think that'd be real. And I hear him, and all of a sudden, they'll just be like, the lawyer will just be saying some shit, and the judge will be like, I don't know about that. Say that in a different way. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, God damn, like how it's so goddamn hard for y'all to do your goddamn job when you can't just fucking go off. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you just want to fucking go off.
Well, yeah, you can't testify, and a lot of times you just want to tell the jury
hard for you
what happened. Well, I got pretty good at hiding. You know what I mean? Right. You got to put it in the opening and the closing.
Right.
All right. So one of the other random things I want to tell y'all about, because I just thought this was so wild. Fucking Smart Mark spoiled this in the group text, but I'm still. I
saw y'all complaining about the spoil and didn't go read.
He had
what he
literally
spoiled.
No way of knowing. Also,
I didn't go read it though.
Me and Mark, when we were reading this at the exact same time, which is so absurd when everybody finds out what it is I'm talking about, because it's just so, like, what are the odds that we were reading the same thing at the same time?
It was wild.
But I want to make sure you heard me. This is all new to me. I saw the complaints and didn't scroll up.
So Domino's Pizza has brought back the Noid. Do y'all remember the Noid?
He was in a game, right? Like,
that's the main reason I remember him.
I remember him from that because me and my granny
we had in the video store.
Oh, he was also, though, if I'm not mistaken, and I didn't read that. I also did what Drew did. Like, I saw what you were talking about, and I'm like, I'm not going to deep dive or anything. I think I remember, and I could be wrong. I thought that he was on some sort of like game, like on the Game Show Network, because me and my granny used to watch that shit all the time. And maybe that was it. You know what? I think I'm thinking about the memes. Okay.
Wasn't he like a meme, basically, like the equivalent of a meme back then? He was in a few different places.
He popped up a lot.
It was 80s corporate marketing shit.
Yeah.
Cross promoting, putting them all over. It was a Domino's, like not spokesperson, but like a Domino's ad campaign that's so coke.
Avoid the Noid.
Insanity, because it's like the Noid is this little like humanoid gremlin thing. Like he looks like a dude,
humanoid. There you go.
Right.
I remember that. I do remember that.
And a humanoid gremlin thing in a skin tight bunny eared
costume,
body suit.
I remember the bunny ears.
He has bunny ears, and it's unclear. It's like, are those his ears and the suit goes over them, or does the suit have ears?
Right.
It's so weird. This is for Domino's Pizza. These are pizza commercials. And what the Noid is or was, but they've brought him back. That's why I was looking into him. Domino's has just brought him back, but he is the physical manifestation of all the obstacles to delivering a pizza in 30 minutes or less. Again, Coke
So a
fueled
rabbit
80s boardroom where
Right.
they come up with this wild ass shit. But so, 30 minutes or less, or it's free. That was the big
It kind
Domino's
of does
thing,
sound like
right?
something a pizza delivery man did come up with. Like, just so you know that when they're out delivering their pizza, did you avoid the Noid tonight, brother?
They were saying
Right.
the void, but nobody they misunderstood them because they were on Coke.
That's what it was. That was the catchphrase: avoid the Noid. And the Noid would like try to sabotage any attempt to deliver a pizza in 30 minutes or less. And these intrepid delivery drivers had to avoid the Noid and able to, complete their mission successfully and deliver the pizza. That was the whole concept of it. It's weird as hell to think about. They've since brought him back, which is what got me looking it up. And it's like everything I've said about the Noid is wild.
Yeah.
But then I read this part. Like, I don't remember this at all. And it's just like everything surrounding this character is so fucking weird. So on January 30th, 1989, Kenneth Lamar Noid, a mentally ill
Kenneth
man.
Lamar.
Kenneth Lamar.
That's like
Noid.
if my uncle rapped.
Kenny Lamar.
To hold the butterfly knife.
Kenneth Lamar Noid, a mentally ill man who thought the ad campaign
Good kid,
was a
big titty.
personal
Sorry.
attack on himself, right? Entered a Domino's restaurant in Chamblee, Georgia. Do you know where that is, Corey? Chamblee? Did you sell fucking rainbow pops there one summer or something?
No.
You mean to tell
a
me you ain't never
one-armed
fucked a
fucking-
Huddle House waitress there?
Right.
I don't. You've got me. I don't
You
know.
mean to tell me you ain't ever had a threesome in Chamblee with a girl named Champagne?
It's in
Not
northern DeKalb
one person
County,
here is
Corey.
more surprised than both of y'all that I've never fucked somebody in Chamblee, Georgia.
DeKalb County, isn't that a prominent county in
Oh
Georgia?
yeah, I know I know what DeKalb County
Well,
is.
Chamblee's in the northern part of DeKalb County. Anyway.
The northern part of DeKalb. Okay.
Kenneth
I've
Lamar
only ever
Noid
been to the South.
entered a Domino's
part
restaurant in Chamblee, Georgia, armed with a .357 Magnum and held
What?
That's a big one.
and held 2 employees hostage for over 5 hours. After telling the employees that Domino's owner Tom Monahan had stolen his name, he forced them to call Domino's headquarters and demand $100,000 and a white limousine as getaway transportation. After offering to exchange one hostage for a copy of The Widow's Son, which is a novel by Robert Anton Wilson, about fucking, let's see, it's the plot concerns the adventures of Yacht and an ancestor. Oh my God, it's an Illuminatus trilogy type thing.
What is it with these motherfuckers?
Constantly fighting to, it's
Is this guy
anyway.
Q? Is Noid Q?
I thought you said cute at first.
So he offered to exchange one of his only 2 hostages for this wild ass book, right? And then Noid reneged on his offer after a police officer brought him the book. Noid eventually became hungry and forced the employees to make him 2 special pizzas. While Noid ate the pizzas with the gun in his lap, the hostages escaped. Noid surrendered to the police shortly after. 2 shots were fired by Noid during the incident. Noid was charged with kidnapping, aggravated assault, extortion, and possession of a firearm during a crime. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity.
Yeah.
Noid spent time in a mental institution but died by suicide on February 23rd, 1995. This incident has been insinuated to have caused Domino's Pizza to discontinue advertising using the Noid as their mascot, though this has been rejected by the company and advertisers. After the incident, Police Chief Reed Miller told reporters he was just paranoid. This man has held hostages, fired shots, tried to kill people, lost his mind, and the fucking police chief shows up with his bathrobe on, I presume, in Chamblee, Georgia, and makes a pun to the press. It's like,
he just couldn't help it. He thought of it on the way over
he
there.
couldn't help it.
Once in a lifetime, dude. Hey, so Chamblee, I did look it up. Chamblee has been referred to as Cambodia with racist connotations due to its high Asian population and the concentration.
Ever check out right there.
Due to its high Asian population and the concentration of Asian restaurants along Buford Highway, a chapter of Tom Wolfe's novel A Man in Full is titled Cambodia.
That is
no
a
longer you've
classic.
never been there.
That's a classic That's a classic racist redneck move right there. Just
Absolutely.
like a country that has those people in it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
fucking Memphrica or whatever.
Oh, that's a thing.
Well, yeah, Memphis. People call it Memphrica. Some racists call it Memphrica. Which, like,
yeah,
again, that barely even. I know that barely even works. Shambodia is way better. Just
right. Like at least you're like, okay,
speaking.
I get it.
But yeah, it's just one of their moves.
I'm such a piece of shit. I'm sitting here trying to think of like better racist things for Memphis. Like my brain's just going 90 miles an hour. Like I can do this one better.
That reminds me of the opening of our Comedy Central sketch, Accent Problems, that they cut it down to one line, but in the beginning we were trying to help that racist that we run into in the bar workshop his jokes.
Pete, what was his? The one that made the cut? Was the one that made the cut? Hey, I didn't even get to tell you the one about how Puerto Ricans can't tap dance.
That was at the end, and our boy ad-libbed that one. In the beginning, we were workshopping stuff, but we just went with our reaction about Jews not having wings. The dumbest one I can remember was people calling MARTA, the Metro Atlanta Rail, whatever, moving Africans rapidly through Atlanta.
Yep.
And what I remember about it was how clever everyone thought they were. Like, I was like, A, you didn't think of it, and B, that's dumb.
The least clever one that I ever heard was here in Chattanooga. The rap station is called Power 94, but they call it blank 94.
Yeah.
So that's the
number one move right there.
Right.
Just plugging in the N word in front of whatever the actual name is. No creativity whatsoever. At all.
I thought it was going to be white power.
No, that'd be good. You know,
I'm an idiot.
No, but
I'm an idiot for giving them credit.
No, dude, don't ever give them credit. Speaking of accent problems, I think it's fine to announce here at the end of the show that we haven't done them yet. Don't know when they're coming, but hey, y'all can expect some more Comedy Central sketches from us. We're slated to film 2 more here this summer. Super pumped to do it. Super pumped to. Just feels like everything's I don't know. I mean, certainly it's not like the blip in Marvel, because all that shit did happen and we still have to live with the consequences, and obviously it was terrible, but I thought, I'm starting to feel like, all right, we're getting shit back together. We're going back on the road. Things are starting to open back up. People are getting vaccinated. I'm starting to like kind of shake it off. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. What I think 100%. Is that, like, some people kept working in our industry, like having shit going on even during the pandemic. But that was like, that was like
super hitters.
That was real hitters. And then now that things are going back to normal, they're like, hey, we can get some of those kind of not hitters back in here.
Hit adjacent.
We can get down to the hit adjacent people like the WellRED boys. And I'm fine. Hey, we're here. We're
we made it.
Welcome back. Yeah.
I'm just I 100% agree with y'all, and I'm just giving you hell. But for a second there, Corey, it very much started to read like, look, man, it's so like, I don't know how y'all feel about it. And it's like somebody's out there like, yeah, well, I lost both grandparents.
No, I know, man. I know. And I'm
glad you got your sketches back.
No, I hear you, dude. And like, I always like, I find it difficult to even talk about it, period, because it's like, I'm not ever going to act like, shit wasn't bad for me. I mean, like, shit was bad for the world. I live in the world, therefore shit was bad for me. But like, it would be disingenuous for me to be like, yeah, I mean, I had a pretty good 2020. I feel guilty about that. And I know that other people were suffering, but like that aside, we still, regardless of how many people have suffered, we need, like, hope is still a good thing regardless.
Well, we got to get back to work. Other people got to get back to work. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to overlook the death, but that's the thing that
we do got to get for sure.
Concerns me thinking about the future for everybody and people I care about is like, the economy is going to be a lot slower starting to be completely back up than it was, on the crash side. The crash went like that. The startup's going to go, and all you motherfuckers out there refusing to go to work for less than $15 an hour, keep that shit
absolutely
up.
For sure, man. Yeah, man. I mean, dude, like, I drive around, I've been at the beach the past couple of weeks, and like I drive by a fast food restaurant. It's like, okay, how about 12, like each sign. And then like I drive by it like 2 days later and it's like 15 and a hand job. You know what I mean? Like, we'll do anything. So like, and that's evident. Like, you cannot, interpret that any other way than it's working. You know what I mean? There's literally no other way to interpret that. And also, this is cliche, but I don't know any other point to be made. They didn't replace you with robots like they said they were going to. They can't do it.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they don't. Right. And
robots are smart. They'll start demanding unions and shit.
Yeah, and you know who's gonna figure out the fucking robot thing finally? This fucking generation, you old pieces of shit. I'm just kidding. We love y'all and we thank y'all for coming to the shows. July 21st, right? Atlanta.
No. July 10th in Atlanta. It's doubly funny because I know
it's like right behind you.
I get, but it's like literally right beside your face. As you're getting it wrong,
it's you know what it is in my brain. It was 2021. I saw the 21. July 10th, 20. I'll cut this part out. No, I won't. July 10th, 2021. We're going to be in Atlanta. We're super glad to be in Atlanta.
And 23rd and 24th, we'll be in Birmingham, Alabama. So yeah,
no shit.
Back in the South, baby.
Let's just Trey. Let's just review real quick. And look, man, a lot of old people die, but goddamn, I got to get back to work. Nah, I'm listening. Fuck y'all. We made robots, but I do. Listen, come see me on the wrong date. Goddamn.
Yeah. It was bad luck. I ain't gonna lie.
Show experience, baby.
Sorry about that. I've had some caffeine.
All righty. Well,
do we hit it?
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening to the WellRED Show. We'd love to stick around longer, but we got to go. Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew. I'll be playing that on the fucking keyboard next time.
That's right.
Skew. Skew.
Corey?
They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread and butt sex. They care way too much but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck.